Economics of or relating to the production, development, and management of material wealth as a country, a household, or a business enterprise. Speaking of economics, Herbert Hoover said, "About the time that we can make ends meet, somebody moves them." Welcome to this edition of Principled Truth. I'm your host, Milton Corey, and I bet you thought when you heard about economics that this was going to be a very dull 10-minute segment. Well, let me bring it into practical terms for you here. There was a gentleman from New England named Cy, and he's a farmer, and you know that New England is a very severe area, and the biggest crop that most farmers get in New England is rocks. So they have to be pretty innovative. Anyway, this is a story about Cy and his gardening equipment. One day, Cy came out and he discovered that his mule had died. So what was he to do? Well, he had a sinking fund he'd established for $125, and you know what a sinking fund is. It's a fund that's designed to replace something that you're using or to purchase something in the future. So he called the mule broker and said that he needed to get another mule, and the mule broker said, "Well, I happen to have a mule on sale here for $125. Cy said, "I'll take it. I'll be in tomorrow with my trailer to get it." So the next day, Cy went into town, and when he got there, he noticed that the mule broker was a bit contrite about things. So Cy said, "Well, here I am, and here's my $125. I'm here for the mule." And the broker said, "Well, I'm really sorry to tell you this, Cy, but the mule died overnight." Cy thought about it for a minute. He said, "Well, no problem. I made an agreement with you that I would purchase the mule for $125. We didn't talk about whether it was going to be alive or dead." So he took the mule. A few weeks later, the mule broker was driving by the area where Cy happened to live, and he saw Cy was out in the field driving a tractor, plowing his field. And he couldn't understand, because he knew Cy didn't do well, where he'd gotten the money to buy a tractor. So he turned around, pulled back in the dooryard and said, "Hey, Cy." Cy came over and said, "What can I do for you?" And the broker said, "Well, Cy, where did you get the money for that tractor?" Cy said, "Well, let me tell you what I did. I had an idea that I'd have a raffle for gardening equipment. And I went out around town and I sold all 2,000 of those tickets, and I got me $4,000. "Well, Cy, where did you get the gardening equipment?" "I got it from you." "Well, all you got from me was a dead mule." "Hey, that's right. You mean to say that you offered a dead mule as the gardening equipment price?" "Hey, that's what I did. Sold all the tickets, sold $4,000 worth of tickets, got a tractor out there to prove it." "Well, weren't the people angry?" "Well, just the one who won the winning ticket, he was a little ticked off. And all I did was give him back his money, gave him back his $2. Our friend Cy, the farmer from New England, kind of explained to us in a roundabout way the reverse of the way economics works. Because what usually happens is with economics is people who are entrepreneurial find a need that people need, and then they figure out how to fill it. Well, in Cy's case, he had a need. He surely had a need. He needed to do something other than stand behind a mule. He lost his mule. He only had a very small amount of money, so he used some innovative microeconomics and created a situation where he multiplied his $125 into the money that he needed to provide him with a tractor, which was a much better way, a much more efficient way of plowing his field and producing the produce that he did in his what they call a truck garden, I guess. The concept of economics can be very, very confusing, and an old business associate of mine once said that economics, people who are economists, really don't have any real idea what's going to happen in the future. And please, no insult to those of you who are economists. But they have a very good way of interpreting what has happened as if they really understood what was going to happen in the future anyway. And for that reason, there are a lot of economists who are now employed in business and industry across the world, in insurance and manufacturing and whatever you happen to think of. So this discussion about economics, I just want you to see that there are a lot of different ways to look at anything, even if it has a dry title and is complex. But the point is, getting back to really the basis of what Principled Truth is all about and what our great country, the United States of America, is all about, is that our forefathers were brilliant in that they looked at the overall situation. And their big concern was freedom, because they knew that if people had unbridled freedom, that people would become successful. Those people who had the drive and the ambition would become successful. So that's why when you take a very close look at our Constitution and the concept of the Ten Commandments, you will see that our country was created based on making an attractive and comfortable environment, in other words, freedom, for people to become entrepreneurial. And literally that's what's happened. That's what made the United States the great and incredible power that it has become over time. And of course, when you have great power and great economic strength, what happens? People don't like you. That's right. It's just like when the beautiful girl walks into a room, all the guys take a look at her and they say to themselves, boy, is she gorgeous. And I'm going to leave it there at what their thoughts might be. While the women in the room, who may just be average run-of-the-mill women, what do they feel? Many of them probably feel jealousy or dislike or whatever it happens to be. That's the way it goes. So becoming successful is really based on what your goals are. And that's why we'll do another program segment here on the 10 Commandments of business, because it's very important that we look at that. Well, I think we can see an example here of the use of innovative economics. That's exactly what Sy did. He had a need that needed to be filled, and he figured out a way to do it, because what he did is he followed through on an opportunity that was presented to him. Many people would have said, well, the mule died, I got to get another mule, and go on with life walking along behind a mule when you're plowing your field. But not this innovative old Yankee from New England. He figured out an innovative way to do it and to multiply his $125 into something which became a very good tractor for him to use in his farming process. And that's what we need to think about in business. Even though this little segment is about economics, the people who survive in business are the ones who are innovative and who can change and modify themselves as time passes. So, when times are difficult, what do people do? That's a whole other discussion. Some people run and hide, some people cut back, some people move forward, and always there will be a percentage of people who are successful. Well, to sum up economics, economics is a science or a study of the way people take things which are in scarce supply and provide them to people who want them but otherwise would not be able to get them. So if you'd like to learn more about economics delivered to you in a way that you can easily understand, I would suggest that you do a web search for Walter Williams. He's a professor of economics, a brilliant man. That's Walter Williams. Principal Truth is here to provide you with the principal truth based on the facts as we know and understand them. And the various links that you'll find and advertisements that you'll find here on Principal Truth are all of the highest quality, and we believe, based on our understanding, that they do provide the goods, services, and so on that they claim. But we can't guarantee anything. It's just our best efforts. So if you'd like to participate in Principal Truth, simply email me. It's Milton@principaltruth.net. That's Milton@principaltruth.net. God bless you.